Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Sunday here, and my mic is totally crooked. There we go. Okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Sunday here, bringing you another audio commentary. Got a game between InflowMini and excuse me, I almost just said Cat's Root. ROOTcatz. This is going to be PvZ action on Metalopolis, and we are definitely in for a good one. Two very talented players. Up at the 12 o'clock position is ROOTcatz, a very, very strong Zerg who has really made Root Gaming a premier force. Definitely a leader role, plays a leadership role over at Root Gaming. So a very, very strong Zerg. Nonetheless, though, even though he spends a lot of time managing, he is still a very, very good player. I can't stress it enough. Very, very solid Zerg. And down at the 9 o'clock position is InflowMini, the Protoss who has really made a name for himself recently. And right off the bat, we're going to see an early drone and early probe exchange. Both players going to scout immediately, and both players are going to scout their opponent immediately. So we are actually going to see close position PvZ, which definitely will favor the Protoss here. Timing pushes can just be so strong. And what will we see Zerg do? Looks like Zerg is just going to macro up for a second here. Is he going to, looks like he is actually going to rack up minerals. It might just, if he actually falls, it looks like that drone's actually going to go out. It looks like we actually might see a hatch first play here, which would be a little bit surprising considering the Protoss has simply scouted that early. But nonetheless, looks like he's going to chrono boost up. He's actually 14 gating here, and I think Zerg has seen that. So I think Zerg's going to be content with here with just taking that early expo, and indeed he will. Protoss just not able to be there to delay, waiting on the minerals, 300, and the hatch will lay. But yeah, InflowMini is a very, very strong Protoss player, really making a name for himself over there playing for Inflow Gaming. But you can see, ladies and gentlemen, that Inflow has made a name for himself, and guess what? He didn't play StarCraft, Brood War, or Warcraft 3. What? He is just that good that he can just come in with 0 RTS experience and become one of the top forces. That is what you call a natural, ladies and gentlemen. How good will he get? That is the question. He doesn't have the probably the mechanics of the other players, but it seems he's catching up just fine. Somehow, some way, with no previous RTS experience and at a very young age, InflowMini is really making a name for himself. But nonetheless, it looks like we have the spawning pool coming up and the gas as well. One drone, there we go, 3 drones being transferred. So right off the bat, once this hatchery gets up, Zerg's going to be comfortable with just macroing up here. He has to make enough to hold off the Protoss attack, but the Protoss going for that core isn't going to have too much of an attack force coming unless he does choose to go for that 4-gate timing push here. But if he doesn't choose to, let me move that real quick. But if he doesn't choose to go for that 4-gate timing push, then we're probably going to see a 3-gate play, maybe Void Rays. Void Rays are really growing in popularity, so I'm interested to see what we're going to see. But definitely the 3-gate into fast expansion is a very, very popular build. It's being used in all matchups actually, but especially Protoss versus Zerg. But looks like the Zerg just going to sit up, macro for a second. Looks like we have that queen on the way. Once he gets that queen on the way, he's going to be able to spit larvae and produce a ton of drones. Looks like Zergling gas or Zergling speed has been started, and then immediately he's actually going to remove all drones from it. He just simply wants speed, and then he's going to drone up. So he is content with not macroing for a minute, or excuse me, he's going to macro. He's not going to tech up for a minute here, but look like one Zealot and one Stalker pushing out. What else is coming out? Looks like he is going to fill in the gap with a Sentry, and he's just going to be able to force field himself to safety if there was indeed a Zergling run by. So nice play here from InflowMini. Just how much damage will he be able to do? Looks like the Lings actually are pushing out right when InflowMini is pushing in, and that's actually going to leave that Queen to be quite susceptible to being attacked. Will he be able to pick off this Queen? It would be huge, actually. Looks like the HP bars are getting low, but here come the Lings. Will it be enough? And yes, it looks like it will be. Looks like the Stalker is going to have to run around, and that Zealot's getting quite low. Will the Zealot fall? And with that, looks like the Zealot will fall, and with that, Inflow is going to have to back off, putting out a little pressure, forcing his opponent to make actually 4 more Lings. So definitely nicely done here. Taking a look at the income tab, you can see 25 harvesters over 19 for Protoss. So Protoss, even though he's an expansion behind, he's definitely done a nice job to force his opponent to make units instead of drones. So we are actually going to see that 3-gate with the pylon out front, and that, my friends, means a fast expansion. But a lot of Lings coming out here. It looks about 8 or 10 as of yet. Fast expansion coming up as well. So Zerg is going to be able to put a little bit of pressure on Protoss with not a huge army. It looks like he's actually going to force field, and the Zerglings are actually going to get right on that Nexus, and they might actually be able to force that out of cancel, desperately trying to warp in more zealots, and a cancel, it's actually going to cancel it, and that is a bummer. That is a huge bummer. He's actually going to lose about 133 minerals, as well as that Nexus timing. It's going to be a little bit later here, and that's what you get for trying to go for that early of a Nexus. He's actually saying F you. Kind of funny indeed. That is a little bit frustrating here, but that's what you'd get for trying to go that early of an expansion. Usually you see a rotation or two of units come from those warp gates before you try to grab an expansion, just because the Zergling count can be a little out of control early game. But looks like Roach's Warren is up, and that natural expansion is up, but I guess he's trying to go a little bit earlier just because his opponent got his expansion up that much earlier. But both players look like they are just going to go right into a macro game here, and look at the Zerg now 31 drones, just seconds later got that many drones. Looks like Protoss is going to push forward here, has a sizable force though, so Zerg's really going to be forced to make some units, but with that spine crawler it shouldn't be too hard to defend. Looks like 4 roaches and 6 lings are on the way, and that should be plenty. But looks like we're actually seeing a Stargate here from Protoss. Definitely going to see those Void Rays coming into play here. Nice force fields thus far, really utilizing the use of force fields, and he's actually going to push the Zerg opponent all the way back. Looks like Zerg is just going to try to run by with these lings, and looks like the cannon should be up in time. If these lings were to attack, they might just barely beat the gap timing of the cannon, but looks like they are just going to run in, try to attack a cannon. They actually do force a cancel on the cannon, and that was actually well worth the three Zergling lives here. So nice play from Catz, really just to delay the Protoss force, and yeah, we are actually going to see the Void Ray come into play. Nothing making from the Stargate yet, but we will as soon as he probably gets the gas for this and the minerals. Looks like the Void Ray will come out. So what will Zerg have for anti-air? That is the question right now. Looks like the layer is tacking. Spire's not going to be out for a moment, which means the Hydras will not be ready when this Void Ray comes. I'm interested to see if he's going to push out with 1 or if he's going to wait for that critical 2. Those critical 2 can really target down queens and really take out the queens quite quickly, and then you're able to put a lot of pressure on the Zerg economy. But looks like Zerg at up to 41 drones just running around with his lings, getting nice scouting. Look at this, he's actually gonna, wow, taking the gold expansion at the inner 3 o'clock expansion here. So that's a little bit risky. If Protoss sees that, that actually will be a huge emphasis of attack here for Protoss, but nonetheless, a lot of Zerglings out in play. And let's take a look. Looks like that 1 Void Ray is out, and is he just gonna send the Void Ray? He is actually gonna send 1 lone Void Ray. I would have hoped he would actually wait for 2, but how many queens does Zerg have? Looks like he has 1 at the main, 1 at the natural here, and I don't know, he's actually attacking an Overlord. I feel he should have waited for 2 and went for the economy here. A little bit sloppy, but he might be able to pick off 1, desperately trying to supply cap him here, and looks like right there, the Evolution Chamber's going up for those Spore Callers, and looks like the 1 Void Ray, but now the 2nd queen coming in and definitely going to push back that Void Ray. So now the cards have been revealed, the hand has been revealed, and Zerg should be able to hold this off relatively well with another queen, but he really needs finally getting that creep connected, and a lot of roaches into play as well. How is Protoss gonna choose to play this out? He really needs to see this gold expansion. If he had those towers controlled, it would be huge for him, because if he saw that expansion, he'd definitely be trying to attack here. But looks like he's gonna put a little bit of pressure. Hydra's dead about halfway up. I think he's missing his gap right now, and looks like he's actually gonna go air. He's actually gonna get the air weapons +1 here. So really gonna get a lot of Void Rays out here, but looks like these queens are gonna come in here and they're gonna be able to push them back, and they're gonna be able to reflect the Void Rays back again. Beautiful defense here so far from ROOTcatz, and right now InflowMini's in a little bit of an awkward situation. He has chose to win Void Rays, and the Void Rays aren't dealing the damage he has wished. It looks like 5 Hydralists on the way as well, and with that, he's going to be able to clean up the Void Rays very easily. So he's probably going to have to bring those Void Rays back and use them, try to use them in his army the best he can, especially because he's invested in these air weapons. It looks like he's going to try to tap forward, waiting on that 3rd Void Ray, but there are quite a few queens, and 5 Hydralists out, ladies and gentlemen, and another queen on the way. So there's not much room for attack here for Protoss, but looks like Protoss has gathered up a sizable force. Will he choose to push? And a ton of drones being transferred to the gold expansion, so he is really going to start to reap in the benefits of the gold expansion, obviously. And looks like the weapons +1 is being started for the ground army of Protoss, about a 4th of the way through thus far, and there are a ton of Zerglings just roaming around. Looks like 1 probe is going by. Ooh, I almost thought he might have saw that expansion, but looks like these Zerglings are just going to tap in. Is Protoss choosing to expand? Looks like he's going to build a pylon. Looks like he indeed will be expanding here. More Spine Crawlers and Spore Crawlers going up. Really just going to try to macro up here. And if Protoss doesn't see that gold expansion in the next minute or two, it could be bad news indeed, because he does not know what's coming as of yet. But looks like the Spire is started and the Colossi Bay is started as well. So a lot of cute units coming here from Protoss. Where's the bulk of his army, though? Is it going to be enough? He will have a strong army with Void Rays and Colossi, but he won't have many of the ground units. The units like the Stalkers and the Sentries and the Zealots, obviously. So I'm interested to see how this is going to play out. A ton of cute units coming out for Protoss. Will it be enough? He's going to go for a strong 2-base timing push. But Zerg all the way up to 63 drones, really getting up to that count where they can just reinforce their army, which seems to be endlessly if you're a Protoss player. But looks like that one Zergling going to run in here and going to see that expansion. And I'm interested to see if Zerg's going to choose to attack here, or how will Zerg choose to deal with this expansion, or is he just going to let it go up? This is quite a far away expansion for Protoss to defend, especially like with a mobile unit like Colossus or like Mutas. But will he choose to go the Mutas with the pure number of Void Rays? It could be a bit silly at this point, but nonetheless, the Spire is just popping. Thermal Lance being started. I would expect Protoss to push out once he gets that critical 2 Colossi. Definitely the number they're all waiting for. 26 Lings coming into play, and that is a lot of Lings, ladies and gentlemen. So Zerg has really stopped making those drones, and he's just going to get a huge army. Let's go and take a quick look at the psi count. 149 for drone, or for cats, excuse me, over 131. So fairly similar supply counts right now. Definitely Zerg's going to be ahead, but looks like this Overlord is coming in as right now, and looks like that oh gosh, Nidus Network coming up as well. Zerg might just Overlord. Looks like this Overlord isn't going to throw one down. Looks like it will, and Protoss is so out of position, ladies and gentlemen. Cannons all the way at the front door, which is terrible news. Looks like his army's going to push forward towards the Zerg, but this Nidus Network, this Night Swarm's going to pop up, and with that, there is just no way Protoss is going to be able to hold this expansion, but luckily for him, he doesn't have any probes there, and it looks like he has heard the sound. That is never a good sound to hear. He needs to have pylons around his base. He definitely needs to see this coming. Cats with a trick up his sleeve, and there is just no way Protoss is going to take this out. Transferring probes. Those probes must be forced to return here, and looks like Protoss making me a little indecisive. What will he do? Looks like he is going to choose to go for the gold, so Zerg definitely is going to lose his gold. His army is way out of position, but in the same time, Cats is going to pick off this third. Did Zerg get enough mining from the gold to make things even here? Look at this Protoss force. So many cute units. 2 Colossi alongside about 6 Void Rays and a ton of Sentries with the help of the Zealots. So there is no real ultimate counter here for Zerg besides making a lot of units. Wow, InflowMini just trying to put up a gold expansion in the middle of all this, and it definitely isn't going to hold. Instant cancel here. Now he's going to pop these back out the Nidus Network and be ready to defend. Will Protoss try to go for that push because he has lost his expansion? Looks like he's going to rebuild this Nexus, but I think he needs to put on a little pressure. Let's take a look at the income tab. 38 under 61 with the main base almost mined out. Protoss really needs to make something happen. Looks like that's exactly what he's going for. He is just going to charge up this ramp. This ramp can be relatively well force field here, and here he comes. Protoss looks like he might just encounter his opponent down the ramp. Couple Corruptors out, and Protoss actually a very nice point of engagement for Protoss, trapping all these Zerglings, ladies and gentlemen, and he is just frying these, having these Lings for dinner here, and now a ton of more reinforcements coming in for Protoss, or for Zerg, excuse me. Will it be enough? The food count for Protoss getting quite low, but so many cute units. But where is the bulk of his army? I'm not sure if he has enough. The Corruptors dealing so much damage to the Void Rays, ladies and gentlemen, and Cats might just have enough, and it looks like it does. All the Stalkers and all the Zealots going down, and the Colossi are desperately trying to run back, but they will all be picked off. And with that, a faillique comes from InflowMini, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, ROOTcatz will clean things up. GG coming from him. Brilliant play. Look forward to more replay commentaries done for me. Please do check out www.thereshnertwork.com. A lot of live coverage coming from myself and a couple of other commentators. So GG from ROOTcatz. Definitely superior micro from InflowMini. Beautiful force fields, but it just wasn't enough to deal with the tricky sleep, or the tricky move here by ROOTcatz to go ahead and put a Nidus Swarm right at the third, as well as the brilliant macro here from ROOTcatz. ROOTcatz playing brilliantly, and he's going to snag one from InflowMini. Nonetheless, thanks for watching, guys. That's all I got. Sunday signing out. Thanks, bye.